Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now December 4th of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, you name it, and exactly what's in store for the Star Wars fandom for the next couple of years. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, things really are turning out to be an amazing success with The Mandalorian Season 2. We will be going into some spoilers, so if you guys have not seen Season 2, Episode 6, also known as Chapter 14, I do suggest that you guys back out of this post right now, just giving you a heads up. So, with Episode 6, obviously, yet another plateau is made. We got to see more action associated with Boba Fett, masked and unmasked, and we also got to see the overall, aspect of Din actually meeting Boba Fett, which honestly was an amazing experience to actually see that by Jon Favreau. Favreau knows the fans, he knows what they want to see, and ever since we got that little tease of Boba in Episode 1 of Season 2, we finally got his return in Episode 6. However, beyond all of this, Dave Filoni, the true protege of George Lucas, this is the man who created the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels and more animated shows to come in the future. What's really exciting is what Filoni is actually working on in order to retcon and reset many different aspects of the sequel trilogy movies. Now that the Skywalker saga is over, of course, both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars universe and trilogy of movies, where it's noted that one major plan by creator Dave Filoni is to retcon key aspects of the sequel trilogy with The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, further, it's explained that Dave Filoni is in fact developing a massive side story for Season 3 that will involve the world of Naboo in the show that will hold a connection to the secret of Palpatine's son. On top of that, it's described that Filoni is preparing to retcon Palpatine's son with Jon Favreau by making him a legitimate son to Palpatine in a post-Return of the Jedi era that will also have to do with the connection to the Snoke clones. Now, let's stop right there for a second. Now, in The Rise of Skywalker novelization, we do learn that Palpatine's son, who is currently unnamed, in that novel, we do learn that Palpatine's son is actually just a clone through gene splicing, and the gene splicing is what allows him to be the son of Palpatine. However, this major retcon is going to undo that, where Palpatine's son will be a legitimate son of Sidious, essentially. That would mean that Sidious either had a wife or some kind of love interest, which would honestly seem very strange to me. If you guys want my 2 cents on what they are aiming to do, is that they're aiming to do exactly what happened in the Darth Vader comics in that vision where Palpatine initiates the birth of Anakin through Shmi Skywalker, just by using the Force from a distance. That is most likely what they're heading towards. I cannot imagine Palpatine having a romance, so that's probably the best explanation there. Beyond all of this, what's even all the more exciting is that Filoni is actually preparing to establish another retcon that will also be unveiled in the 3rd season, that Palpatine was developing Snoke clones, not just as a trial run for the leader of the First Order, but also to eventually be used as a new clone army of the First Order that would also be able to actually have Force sensitives under Palpatine's commands. Filoni is described to be making these retcons in order to add more value to the character of Snoke, and that they will be diving into the original species of the character and where it all began. Now, what's really exciting about all of that is that you can see that Filoni, what he's trying to do, is that he's trying to dive more into the secrets of the First Order. It seems to me that what we saw in Episode 4, Chapter 12, was actually a Snoke clone or a Snoke proto. I think that's exactly what that was. A lot of people, were very confused as to what in the world that thing was. At first, I didn't really think it was Snoke at all, to tell you guys the truth. I just thought that maybe it was similar looking in design, but now we can see exactly where things are starting to match up. I think that what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau ultimately are trying to do is that they're really trying to add a different perspective to the sequel trilogy and the rise of the First Order, the secret of Palpatine hiding over in the unknown regions, and exactly how he was able to bring everything to power. That is obviously what they're trying to do with The Mandalorian. And you guys may recall that years ago, when the show was in the early development phase, is that they had plans to eventually dive into the eventual infancy of the First Order, the rise of the First Order, showing us the transformation of the remnants of the Empire and how that forms into the First Order. We're going to actually witness this in The Mandalorian, so keep an eye open for that in the years to come. That's exactly what Jon and Dave are aiming to do. So, yeah, guys, I mean, like I've said before in the past, I think that they know what they're doing. This is a great success so far. Cannot wait for Season 3 and 4. They're going to be done back to back. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.